Are you trying to figure out what classes are going to be available and playable in early access of Path of Exile 2 on November 15th? Now, November 15th is literally a month away. The early access is so close, I can taste it. And I know a lot of you are excited, like myself. And if you're trying to figure out what classes are going to be playable, well, this video is for you. And it's especially for you if you've never stepped foot in waChapters. We are going to create a series of videos that are going to showcase all the classes that are speculated to be available and playable on November 15th. Now, in total, Path of Exile 2 full release, when the game is fully released, will have 12 classes, 6 returning classes and 6 new classes. Now, on November 15th, early access, there is speculation that there is going to be 6 to 8 playable classes. Warrior, Sorceress, Witch, Ranger, Mercenary, and Monk look like they're going to be playable on November 15th. Again, it's speculated, guys. This can all change at any given time. The 2 that potentially could be playable as well, but yet there's no information out there confirming it, at least to my knowledge. If there is, please correct me in the comment section. But the Huntress and Druid look like they will be playable, but that hasn't been confirmed. So those are the 6 to 8 that are speculated to be available to us on November 15th. There are 4 classes: Marauder, Duelist, Shadow, and Templar, again, are speculated not to be available on November 15th. Now, like I said, this is all a moving target, guys. This is all speculation, so this can change at any time. What we do know is that Grinding Gear Games has told us that there's going to be a live stream closer to the early access date. Now, some are speculating it's going to be the end of October. I myself speculate that it's going to be the beginning of November. Regardless, a couple of weeks, give or take, prior to November 15th, Grinding Gear Games are going to do a live stream. And during that live stream, it's been said they are going to educate us and give us more information on the end game. I am also speculating and hoping, for all our sakes, that they're also going to take that opportunity in the live stream to dot a lot of the I's and cross a lot of the T's on some of these questions. Now, we've heard drips and drabs of information as far as access to the beta, the cost, what the process is going to be, what characters are going to be playable, how many acts, 3, 6. This is all speculation. My hope is in and during that live stream, Grinding Gear Games are going to confirm a lot of this. Getting back to the classes, I want to create this series of videos because, like I said earlier, a lot of people in my community and a lot of new people coming to my channel because of my Path of Exile 2 content have never played Path of Exile, have never stepped foot in waChapters, like I said. So I want to give them the information that we have as of today and showcase some of these classes that potentially are speculated to be playable on November 15th. So I want to equip you with that knowledge, and hopefully it will help you make your decision on what class you're going to play on November 15th if you choose to play the early access. Now, this is in no special order, but today's video, we are going to showcase the Ranger class. And the Ranger class has a couple of things that go with it, and I want to highlight them. Number one, the Ranger class is a bow specialist. Now, keep in mind, guys, one of the unique things in Path of Exile 2 is any character can use any skill and any weapon, and this is the beauty of the game. You can reimagine any class and make any build that your heart desires, so please keep in mind. But the Ranger is a bow specialist, so it favors a bow. It is one of 2 pure dexterity builds. The Ranger and the Huntress is the other pure dexterity build, and ironically, both the Ranger and the Huntress will start in the same starting point in the passive skill tree and Path of Exile 2. So I have a 13 to 14 minute video that was showcased about 6 months ago, and ironically, it's from Grinding Gear Games themselves, and Jonathan does the voiceover. Now, the video was 6 months ago, so keep that in mind, but I wanted to use that video because I think Grinding Gear Games did a really good job in demonstrating and showcasing what the Ranger class is going to feel, play, and look like. So I thought it would be a good video for all of you to see if you haven't seen it. And like I said, this is going to be the first of many videos showcasing the speculated classes that we may potentially have access to on November 15th. And again, speculated, all this stuff is moving target. I can't say that enough. Anyway, without further ado, here's the Ranger class.
Let the hunt begin.
When we started to work on the Ranger, we knew we had to make a class with high agility. The dream of fast bow gameplay is Legolas, so that's what we wanted to deliver. The starting point is moving while shooting a bow. Any kind of basic arrow skill can be fired while moving, with a movement penalty. This immediately gives you a lot more freedom on the battlefield. Here, I'm starting each battle with a poison burst arrow to poison groups of enemies, then using a lightning arrow to arc lightning around larger packs. For even more mobility, we also have a variety of skills that involve vaulting around the battlefield too. This is Frost Escape. Using it jumps backwards and shoots a freezing arrow at the ground. Really useful if monsters close on you and you need to get away. Once you've landed, if monsters were frozen, it'd be nice to have some way to take advantage of that extra time. This is where Snipe comes in. Snipe is a skill shot that you need to charge up and release at exactly the right time. If you land the right timing, Snipe is guaranteed to produce a critical strike, and does a small AoE as well, so it's a great finisher. You can also move while shooting arrow rain skills too. This skill is Lightning Rod. It shoots an arrow into the air that sticks into the ground and does a small AoE. Once the rods are in the ground though, they attract any arcs of lightning that are nearby, causing them to explode again. This means you can stack up a bunch of lightning rods on the ground and bounce lightning between them, doing way more damage.
This is going to hurt.
Now this takes care of packs pretty well, but for bigger enemies I'd like to have something that's going to enhance my damage output too. This skill is Stormcaller Arrow. Using it sticks an arrow into an enemy. After a short period of time, a lightning bolt comes from the sky and strikes them. This has a high chance to shock them, and shocked enemies take 30% more damage from all sources. If something big walks along, it's a good idea to throw one of these at them first to enhance your damage, before following up with the other combo. To enhance this combo, there are a couple of things I could do using our support gem system. Skills in Path of Exile are granted by items called skill gems. Each skill gem has coloured sockets in it, and these sockets are for other items called support gems. Support gems modify your skills, and it's where a huge amount of the customization of your character comes from. First, I'm going to take this multiple projectile support gem. I could add it to my lightning arrow, and it would fire multiple arrows. This would increase the number of targets I can hit, but that isn't the effect that I'm after. If I add it to my lightning rod skill instead, then when I fire it, I get a nice group of rods. This means that I don't have to spend as much time setting up before I can use it with my lightning arrow combo. I might also add faster projectiles to make the lightning rods land faster too. Now next up I'm going to grab this chain support gem. Chaining causes many effects to repeat on new targets when you hit them. If I add it to my lightning arrow, it will cause the arcs that come out of lightning arrow to strike even more targets, rippling along my line of lightning rods for huge amounts of damage. Now I think we can use support gems to improve Stormcaller Arrow as well. Let's start simple. I'm going to chuck less duration on here. This will cause the lightning from the sky to strike a bit faster. Next up we have a support called Shock Proliferation. This support makes it so that any enemies shocked by the skill will also have the shock jump to nearby enemies, meaning they'll take the extra damage as well. It's just a chance to proc, so it's not going to proc on every single pack, but when it does, a pack will go down ultra quick. Another useful empowering skill is Barrage. Barrage is one of the rare cooldown skills in PoE 2. It enhances whatever your next attack is to fire 3 times. With what we have here, I think it might be a good idea to use it with Lightning Arrow. It'll generate 3 times as many lightning explosions. You could also use it at just the right moment with Snipe, or any number of other skills depending on what effect you need more of right now. It's very versatile and can be used in a range of situations. Now, even as mobile as the Ranger is, it's still very useful to slow monsters down, and a Ranger certainly has quite a few tools to do this. If you're prepared to get up close and personal, we have a skill called Electrocuting Rod. First, jump over the enemy and shoot it into them. Once the rod's in place, any lightning damage they take will build up a special electrocute gauge. Once the gauge is full, the monster is totally suppressed, allowing you to kill them easily. Now, sometimes when you use Electrocuting Rod, the enemy dies before you get a chance to electrocute them. I think there's another support gem I could add to my lightning arrow to fix this problem. Neural Overload will make it easier to electrocute enemies. If the skill it's attached to puts them over 50% of their electrocute bar, it will trigger instantly. Now, this skill works really well for suppressing a single large enemy, but I'd like to improve my crowd control ability for groups as well. I'm going to add a support gem called Frozen Nexus to my Frost Escape. This makes an area of chilled ground around frozen enemies. I'll also add Deep Freeze to it as well, which will make the freezes last a bit longer. Now when I use my Frost Escape on that front enemy, others nearby are slowed down. It would also be good if I had a way to slow enemies down when they're farther away from me as well. So this would be a great time to start getting into the Ranger's poison and plant-based skill set. To start with, let's have a look at Vine Arrow. This skill fires an arrow into the air that creates a small plant where it lands. The plant sends out tendrils to nearby enemies, slowing them down and poisoning them. But it does have another function too. If the plant gets further poisoned, it transfers that poison to the monsters it's attached to. Normally you would only be able to get 1 stack of poison on a monster at a time, but you can put as much poison as you want on this plant. You could just use the plant to slow monsters down and not worry about the poison part. But if you want to go all in on poison, this is the way to do it. Now if you do want to focus on poisons more, another useful skill is Poison Bloom Arrow. This skill creates these plant pustules on the ground. If you wait a little while, they'll explode. Just like any other plant skill, these plants respond well to poison. Shoot the Poison Burst arrow at enemies nearby and watch your plants grow more and more powerful. Poisoning the pustules causes them to do much more damage and makes them explode much faster as well. I can also add the Pierce support to Poison Burst arrow. Doing this will mean I get multiple poison bursts as it goes through each monster. We also have another skill to make a nice environment for your plants to grow. Gas Cloud Arrow. This skill shoots the ground and creates a cloud of gas that continuously poisons things inside it. Throw your plants down, then put a gas cloud on top. The constant poisoning will make them grow. Another poison-related skill we have on the Ranger is called Plague Bearer. This is a reservation skill, meaning it uses Spirit. When I enable it, I get this counter that counts up whenever I apply poison to a monster. You can see the counter on the skill increasing as each new monster is poisoned. Now I'm going to fight these monsters and make sure to poison them as much as I can to build up the counter. It does take quite a while to get the counter up to 100%, but it's worth it. Whenever I choose, I can unleash the poison in a big explosion around my character, dealing a large amount of damage. Now next up we have a classic, Rain of Arrows. It's simple. Shoot a bunch of arrows in the sky and they rain down for a short time. It's decent AoE and damage at long range. Now this skill doesn't last too long, but we can change that. It's time to introduce frenzy charges. Frenzy charges are used for a variety of skills on the Ranger, but with Rain of Arrows they can be used to extend the duration.
You're mine.
How do we get some though? Here we have a skill called Sniper's Mark. Put it on an enemy and it will grant you a frenzy charge when you crit them. Now remember that snipe skill from earlier? That skill guarantees a critical hit. So first we Sniper's Marked an enemy, then we sniped them. And after that, the next Rain of Arrows will last a really, really long time. We still have some weaknesses though. While Rain of Arrows hits enemies with a ton of arrows, each one doesn't do much damage individually. It would be nice if we had a way to break the armor on enemies so that Rain of Arrows dealt more damage. Thankfully, we have this Corrode Armor support gem, and we can put it on our Gas Cloud arrow. Corrode Armor causes poison to erode the armor on targets until it's all gone. This will significantly increase the damage that Rain of Arrows does against armored targets. Oh yeah, and one more thing about gas clouds. They can be detonated with explosions. I have an explosive arrow here. Let's check it out.
Still.
Now, because monsters and gas clouds are likely to have their armor broken, I think there's another useful combo we can do. This is an exploit weakness support. This support provides extra bonus damage to targets that have their armor broken. Perfect for what we have going on here. So, those are just some of the skills we have on the Ranger class in Path of Exile 2. Now that we've seen all these skills, let's see how well they do against a much tougher enemy. It's time to fight the boss of the temples, Thanos.
Kitava's cursed madness never ends! Orius Radiant!
Well, he's down.
Chaotic power! Exalted are the worthy!
Stand still.
Behold! True power! Orius Radiant! Exalted are the worthy! Chaotic power! Chaotic power! Behold! True power! Exalted are the worthy!
Deadly aim.
Divine blessing! True power! Exalted are the worthy! Blazing devotion! Exalted are the worthy! Aurea! I have found your next bearer!
Kill swiftly and move on. This is how you survive.
And that's the Ranger. But oh yeah, there was one more thing. The mount. Check this out. Yes, you can ride a rower. While riding the rower, you can shoot arrows with no movement penalty. It's pretty overpowered. You can also use your vaulting skills to jump right off the rower's back. Once the rower doesn't have a rider, it starts attacking monsters, so he's nice to have around, even if you're not riding him. That said, if you are riding, don't get hit. If you take a heavy stun while on a rower, you'll fall off, and it takes a while to get up, so be careful. So that's what we wanted to show you today.
What a great showcase of the Ranger class. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it equips you with the knowledge to assess the Ranger class and whether it's a viable build or class for you. Now, I personally am looking forward to seeing all of the variations that come out of the potential builds, whether it's Ranger or any other class. That is the beauty of Path of Exile 2, just the options and the variety of builds that are going to come out of how the foundation of the game is built. It's just something that I'm really looking forward to. And personally, myself, I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on these classes and seeing what kind of variation and uniqueness I can build out of all these different classes. Anyway, this is the first one of many videos. We demonstrated the Ranger class. I hope you liked it. Get in the comments section. Let me know what you think. And like I said, guys, I'm sorry. I know I'm harping on this, but this is all speculated builds and classes that are going to be available to us in early access. Like I said, we're going to hopefully learn more in the up and coming weeks, but only time will tell. Anyway, if you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe on the video. I would really appreciate the support of my content. It would mean the world to me. And if you want to stay up to date on all and anything Path of Exile, Path of Exile 2, definitely hit the subscription button, hit that bell so you get notified when I'm dropping content. We're going to be dropping content as it comes out, specifically on Path of Exile 2. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody, and as always, I hope to see you next time. Take care. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and solely mine. Healthy debate is always encouraged. Hate is never welcomed. So get over it.